sell it to?
Bon après-midi. Il est temps de boire un verre de vin. It is time for some wine, so come on in, take a sip, and let's wind down on the Saturday grid. And real quick, interestingly enough, got an email I got 3 emails over the past couple of weeks, and I thought I would just go ahead and address them. The question has been, what bracelets are we wearing here? Well, this is a sailing bracelet right here. This is a Paul Hewitt. It's got a little anchor on it. I'm a big fan of like yacht races and stuff like that. I love the ocean. And as anybody who watches regularly knows, I love Omega watches. I'm a big Omega guy. I think it's because of maybe James Bond, or I don't know, when I was kind of coming of age, Pierce Brosnan had that really awesome, sexy blue dial and bezel stainless steel Seamaster that he wore, and I just kind of got into them. They're really quality watches, and they're pretty pricey, I understand, but that's what you get. It's just what it is. And this is, of course, this is like another Omega sailing bracelet. It's in the shape of the actual Omega symbol. So that's what those are. So we got nothing crazy, nothing religious or anything like that. No, just I like sailing stuff. So I mean, if they had an aviation bracelet, or a Formula racing car bracelet, I'd probably have one of those too. These are the things that I really love, right? There's boats and planes and cars and watches and stuff. I mean, I really am a 12-year-old boy, so there's no question about that. So let's go ahead and jump in. It looks like here we have a Blake Slonecker. Oh, that's Professor Blake Slonecker. Dr. Slonecker, if I'm not mistaken, he's put quite a few grids in these things. He's a really super clever constructor, and I think he teaches at the Heritage. I don't know. Actually, kind of blush to say that. I really don't know for sure where he is a professor. Seems like he's at Heritage, so I'll have to look that up, and I'll stand corrected if I'm wrong. And of course, today we're working on our Chateau Saint-Hélène. It's at 2020 Languedoc, and it is just a fabulous wine. And I'm so glad I got a couple of cases of it, so I could just sit and enjoy. And that was the solver's courage we need. Let's jump into our grid. Let's see what we got here today. All right, making sure everything's running. Early electric lights. Well, what passwords unlock? Perhaps that's access. So don't know what the early electric lights are. Arrive curbside could be to roll up, maybe. Ward off bad luck in a Greek tradition, and I think opa, that's to spit. Cyberspace, okay. Puzzle out. So this is what we do every day, right? We sit down and we suss out these clues. Let's see if we're right here. What do you think? Is this a Chicago trading system? What always ends well? 2 L's, but you have to give me a little bit of leeway, because ELS is often, Chicago train system, right? No, got it, so tracking. What is that, Erie, Lake Superior, or something like that? I can't even remember what it stands for. Subs reference. Probably a classroom something, I guess. Direct marketing tactic. We have the CO here. Let's go with a cold call, as much as every one of us hates them. Andres Segovia won a Grammy Lifetime Achievement for it. It's true. He died when I think I was in high school, but he was a classical guitarist and a big influence. I guess I probably need to spell out guitar, classical guitar, not try to somehow fit in classical guitarist into the link that will not fit. But I really wanted to be him. As a matter of fact, you can see right over here off of my shoulder, man, the classical guitar there. I mean, it's my favorite type of guitar to play. And I always wanted to be like him when I was a kid. And Yngwie Malmsteen and, you name it, right? Of course. So what do you think this cyberspace is storage? That's what I'm thinking. Inveigled. I guess you could maybe coax somebody. Let's take a look at that. Mass apparel, maybe Alps. Still think I'd look good in one of those things. Socializes, maybe mixes. All right. We've got a pretty clever little grid here today. Noted name and lithographs. And I guess we're talking about Currier and Ives. And there was a time, right? So these early electric lights, are these arc lamps? Let's check ourselves. Temple, square letters, maybe Latter-day Saints. Window installations, maybe air conditioners. Sully to Mar. Okay. P, B, D, T, K, and G. And these are all, as we linguists like to refer to them, as plosives. And the name kind of describes itself. It describes its own definition when you say. Okay, so maybe this is a classroom. Agenda will be too short, so maybe this is a roster of some sort. Let's take a look. So we can keep on checking ourselves. Kitchen flippers. I just had this picture in my head of wearing like flippers in the kitchen. Then it hit me. Slotted spatulas. So Spendy, subject to the 2021 documentary Once Upon a Time in Queens, and that would be the Mets. And I really want to see that. Ooh, Flytrap. Speaking of baseball references. Very nice. D centers. D centers. Oh, so you take the center out of it. What have you done? You chord it. Very nice. That's pretty clever. Spendy could be steep. Per. Maybe a pop. First act could be the opener. Yeah, this is not an easy grid today. We're getting pretty lucky with our guesses, but it's not. It is in French. Well, c'est bon, huh? C'est bon. Modest home in Modesto, say. And I guess we're talking about a casita. And my dad, before he and my mother married here just not long ago, he had his own house. Clearly, I mean, they moved in together later, but he had a little bitty house out back called a casita, and I always liked staying in that. Juicy stuff. Well, we can make intimate details fit. And why not? Did I screw something up on all that? I hope not. I don't want to be running around here trying to find where I'm fat fingered something. Outspoken parenting critic, maybe, and I guess this all signs point to either Aldous, Oklahoma, or teenagers. And I think this is Ina May Gaspin, the author of Spiritual Midwifery. So, sounds funny, doesn't it? Midwifery, but I do believe that's proper. I work with several midwives, and yeah, that's what they say, midwifery. Sets up, maybe arranges. So a Fed could be a G-man. I could technically be a T-man too. So treasury man, government man, I don't know. Teaching assistants, often. English folk singer Billy Bragg. Gosh, I am a huge fan of Billy Bragg. Oh, way down under in the minor key, right? Oh, good stuff. Teaching assistants. Well, can't really fit grad students in there. Just so could be to a T. Teaching assistants. They're not afraid to take charge. Wow. That would have been a great clue for something having to do with protons or ions, right? But I think we're talking about fearless leaders, which is great. And I guess teaching assistants could be graders. Certain Thanksgiving dish, maybe a boat, like a gravy boat. Pilots, for example, or as an example. Pilots. maybe tests. I'm trying to think of what you could do, like a pilot test. I was thinking, navigator, aviators, whatever. But I don't. Yeah, I think we're probably about pilot tests. Word on many, no trespassing signs. I think it was posted. Doubly disadvantageous. Yeah, doubly disadvantageous. So I guess it'd be lose-lose situation, maybe. Check ourselves. 90 degrees would be east. Unless you're flying west and you have to hit the 90 runway. Fair Hiring Agency, and I think this is the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Jumps from one foot to the other. I think this would be Jeets. Unhappy chorus would be jeers, maybe. So that works and lines up with the J. 1988 Summer Olympics host and Seoul. And as a matter of fact, I remember the 88 Olympics. I was 15 or 16. I can't remember. I think I was 16. But didn't that when Greg Louganis hit his head? Oh, awful. Galley command. Who knows? Is it galley like a kitchen, or is it a galley like, on the sides of the document that you've written out for the editor to leave their notes, right? Who knows? If that's the case, it could be stet. I think I just talked myself into that. Spin right round. Right round, baby. Right round like a record, baby. Got Dead or Alive in my head now. Okay, so I think it's rotating clockwise. This kind of was already spelled out in a way. Media-based learning sites and formally, I think these audio-visual labs. I used to be an attending professor at a small liberal private university, and I used to love when I had to take my students into the AV lab. Had a hiccup, so maybe we faltered. This is altogether possible. I'm good at it, by the way, faltering. Hanes brand once sold an ovoid packaging legs. My grandparents would always use them for like the bonus egg at the Easter egg hunt, right? And put like a $5 bill in it, which could literally in the 1970s and 80s, you buy like maybe 4 packs of cigarettes with them. I know, because my grandmother would send me to the store with a $5 bill and get me to get 3 packs of Pall Mall filterless. And then, I was 6, 7 years old. You could just walk to the store back then and just buy the cigarettes for your grandmother. And change, I could play Pac-Man. Good stuff, huh? Till the end of time, forevermore. Remove all of your problems. Could be an eraser. Asa Hutchinson, I've met him. Actually, he's a very nice guy. I do like him. New Orleans setting, I guess it'd be Central Time. Went after, so I guess it would be assailed. And I guess we got the CST there. Band-aids could be set lists. I feel like I fat-fingered something. Home to England's Jurassic Coast, and that would be Dorset, where I served for a brief time with the Royal Wessex Yeomanry. Went down the Jurassic Coast all the time. Word that's a homophone of its middle letter, I guess, R? Fan settings could be speeds. And how did we do, Bob? Not bad. Okay, this works, right? 1046 for Saturday grid, not a bad one. And I got to hand it to Dr. Slonecker. Again, well done, Professor. This is fabulous. Just a tight, clean little grid. You hemmed me up on L's. I had it almost for certain in my mind that it was going to be a reference to the Chicago train system, but it was not. On the whole, not a single thing in here that I could be groaning about, right? I absolutely loved this. This was a fabulous grid. And so let's go ahead and ask it to leave ever so kindly. Pop this on out of here. And while we're at that, real quick, before we bring down the Ensign d'Adieu, I just want to say thank you for the likes and the subscribes and the comments. Every day we see more and more people are finding their way to our little community, and I appreciate that. So yes, by all means, shoot me emails. If you have a question about something in the background or whatever, let me know. I'm happy to answer. And if enough people ask, I'll just put it in the video, right? No big deal. But let's go ahead and I'll send out to And I wish you all a wonderful weekend. So it's just going to have to be what that is. So auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, servus, grüß Gott, ciao, Cin-Cin, bis später, au revoir. And we will see you tomorrow for that ginormous Sunday grid. Until then, be good to yourselves, be great to your neighbors, and be fantastic to the person behind you in line. Take care now. We'll see you then. Be well.